Hey folks, welcome to episode 186 of Ruffled Feathers. I'm Vince Gaetano. This week we're going to cover the death of mortgage fraudsters that took place this week. We're also going to talk about the equity release program, as well as a recent streetcar derailment that has basically stopped the city of Toronto's King Street eastbound traffic. So all this on this episode. For those that haven't already tuned into any of the podcasts, they're going great. Thanks for all your support and the downloads on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and the YouTube channel. If you want to subscribe and follow these podcasts, go to the Wise Old Owl podcast, and you could download the episodes every Monday at 5 p.m. There's a new episode, so tune in. So this week is a little bit of a morbid situation. There was a recent shooting and killing of three folks. Two people were shot, and the gunman looks like he killed himself. But very sad story. The gunman was a individual who basically lost his life savings to mortgage fraudsters that took his money, his life savings, about $1.2 million, and they were stuck in court for ages. Nothing was ever getting done. I think the case went back to, I believe, March of 2018. Lawyer fees, they uncovered a whole gamut of fraudulent activity, and this person came to the realization that he couldn't handle losing his family's life savings to these fraudsters and went to shoot them. One individual by the name of Arash Masagi and the second individual, Samira Yousefi. This Arash chap was a known criminal. In 2018, he was charged with numerous lawsuits, and the police arrested him for his role in a criminal fraud investigation involving mortgages to the tune of about $17 million. It was called Project Bridle Path. And this guy had a very terrible criminal past. And FSRA, the regulator in Ontario, even posted an update notice to folks in, I believe, June of 2020 to let people know not to deal with this person. And lo and behold, this individual who was taken of his life savings went in and shot them and then turned the gun on himself. His widow partner spoke that he left a note, and in that note it indicated that he wanted to stop these criminals from destroying other people's lives. So quite a sad story, but something I want to cover because I think this one hit hard, because every time folks come to me looking to invest their money, and I'm a mortgage broker, I run a mortgage investment corporation, a MIC. I'm a mortgage administrator licensed with E&O insurance and all the coverage and regulatory oversight. I always let people know that there is an inherent risk of you losing your money. It is our obligation to let any investor know how risky private mortgages are, and that nothing is guaranteed. And these investors, in this particular case, this gunman who went out and shot these two folks, he leveraged his home with a mortgage to invest in higher paying mortgages. And right there, that's a red flag. So what I'd like to do today is I'd like to provide anybody looking to invest in private mortgages 5 tips to avoid running into these characters deemed con artists or fraudulent folks that are looking to take advantage of people's lack of knowledge in the space. So here are 5 tips to avoid running into a fraud artist. Okay, number 1, make sure you verify credentials and licensing. Okay, anybody who is deemed a mortgage agent, mortgage broker, mortgage administrator is licensed. Okay, has to be licensed. In Ontario, in BC, in Alberta, there's other regulatory bodies on the provincial level across this country, and make sure that they have E&O insurance. Ask for their certificate to make sure that they are insured from errors and omissions, okay? These regulators have websites. You can check to make sure these folks are licensed, and you need to verify that they're current. In this particular incident, this Arash Masagi, he was expelled. Like he had his license revoked years and years ago. So he wasn't licensed. There was a notice on file at FSRA that this guy was persona non grata, and yet folks still did business with him. Big no-no. So make sure you're verifying credentials and licensing requirements. Number 2, conduct background checks. Okay? Look to see if there's history of complaints. You've got all these boards and comment boards, client service boards that you could look up. Make sure there's no disciplinary actions with regulators. Make sure there's no legal issues with these folks. Okay, funny enough, you put up this guy, Arash Masagi, on Google, and you get to see the lawsuits this guy's listed in. These things are out there. There's tools out there to make sure you're dealing with reputable people. Number 3, require references. Require references from professional associations that they could be affiliated. Contact the regulator to make sure that the brokerage and the agent is in good standing. Contact their lawyers. Contact your lawyers and find out who these people are so you could be comfortable knowing who you're dealing with. Number 4, review the contracts and any agreements that you're signing and have your solicitor review it. Don't take advantage of the lawyer that they're dealing with. In this particular case, this criminal activity involved 2 lawyers that were acting as syndicates for them. So you should have your own representation when dealing with private lending and investing in any mortgage product. Make sure you have your representation looking at the documentation, vetting the file, vetting the paperwork, so you know what you're getting involved in and you have peace of mind knowing that you have representation looking after you. And last, monitor the transaction carefully. If you are investing in a one-off transaction, look at the communication, make sure there's no inconsistencies in the story, make sure that they're vetting third-party documentation from banking institutions confirming down payment, documentation confirming income, and make sure that the appraiser that is evaluating the property is a reputable appraiser that is designated as an AACI or a CRA designation, and make sure that that value is a true value. So look at the comparables of the properties that are being used to determine this value. Make sure they're current, make sure that they're reasonable in the sense that they're similar in nature to the subject property you're lending on. And you want to deal with somebody you could trust. I deal with this every day, and I always encourage people to do proper due diligence. This is a tragic event that's taken place. It's a sad event. It's unfortunate what happened in the end. Like to resort to killing someone who's defrauded you is gotta be something that hit this person so hard that devastated them beyond belief. I can't put myself in their shoes. I don't know how hard the person worked for everything they had, but they obviously were duped and the system did not help them. So at the very least, I'd like to let everybody know that there are ways you could prevent this stuff, and hopefully these 5 tips can prevent anybody that's watching or anybody that's out there thinking about this to make sure that this is the right type of investment and person that you're dealing with. So let's move on. A lot of interest in the equity release product. We are seeing a lot of folks that are accessing equity in their homes through this product without any payment obligations or a voluntary payment obligation. It's more geared to older folks. Most people see it as a reverse mortgage, but I like the equity release term because that's what's actually happening. These are people that want to age in place, people that want to stay in their homes, stay in their communities, and they want to access funds. We're seeing quite a bit of a ramp up in this type of financing. If you do need any assistance whatsoever in learning more about this, we do have a dedicated website called reversemortgage.ca. We have some white papers there and some videos that can help you understand how the product works, and we encourage folks to go out there and do your homework and see if it's a proper fit, and we'd be happy to help in this regard. As far as the City of Toronto goes, this city is just stuck in traffic. It is getting worse and worse and worse. Today we had a derailment on King Street, eastbound. All the streetcars are lined up, can't go anywhere. And guess what? The bike lanes eat up the other two lanes, the other lanes. So they can't move at all. And parts of the entertainment district have, patio seating on the street, so you can't even have bike lanes get through there. They got to go on the sidewalk because all the streetcars are piled up next to the patio sets. Like, I saw the video of it. It was actually hilarious, but can't be fun for folks trying to get to work and trying to move around the city. And it's one thing to have the subway going up and down in the center of the city at University Avenue and up Yonge Street, but when you got to go east and west and you can't move, that's quite frustrating. And seeing a lot of people on the sidewalks in this heat, unable to get transit, just shows you that there's something wrong with the city, and their priorities are not where residents of the city need them to be. So we got to move people, we got to get them out and about, and we got to get them to places in a reasonable amount of time, because people are just tired of being stuck in traffic, being stuck on transit that doesn't work, and can't stand the delays of new transit projects not even having projected completion dates. So folks, it's a challenge. We need to speak up, and we got to hold these councillors accountable, make note of who they are. We got to get rid of these incumbents. They do not leave. They seem to have a stranglehold in their communities because nobody votes, and we need more people out and about to vote and get new representation in, because they're just fucking up the city really bad. So it's great weather out there. Enjoy it. I'm going to tune off and go enjoy some soccer. The Euro's on. It's on TV every day. It looks like this, the multiculturalism of the city is vibrant and celebrating each day with every exciting game that's on. So I'm going to go enjoy that. That's why the show is a little bit early today. And I hope that Italy wins, because that's who I'm supporting. Folks, have a great one. Thanks again, and stay safe out there. Take care.